Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strat Gamer here, opening with a new Anno 1800 episode, and today we are starting a completely new series. Yes, indeed, it is again a new series. Why new? Because we're gonna be sort of preparing and focusing on the future DLC, the High Life. If you don't know about the High Life, there's the last DLC of Season 3 coming out end of August. There was recently a dev blog about it. I've made a video about it, which will now appear at the top. Don't hesitate to check it out. And a key element is that the high life is really linked to engineers and investors in terms of min-maxing, population, functionality, gameplay, etc. is really linked to those two tiers. And if you've seen many of my previous videos, in particular my previous attempt at a world record, where without any export import I'm at more than 3 million people, this was really focused on scholars, right? Because the scholars used to be the best density of population. So using that save won't really help us, right? It's almost like I have to destroy all of it and restart. So I thought, let's just restart and let's restart together. But at the same time, I'm not going to do a typical playthrough where you see me build everything, minute by minute, or something like I build an island and then I show you this island. We're gonna do something new in this series, which is we're gonna do a lot more of time lapses, meaning at the beginning of the episode, maybe I describe a bit what I'm planning to do, or I explain a bit things from the previous episode. Then there is a time lapse where, at a high speed, you're going to see things happening, right? It's not going to be in real time. It's going to be at a high speed. You're going to see me do everything on a condensed time. And then potentially at the end, on the next episode, I can also explain a bit where we are, what is the next plan, and things like this. So do tell me in the comments below if you like this format, if you're interested by it, or if you want me to tweak it somehow. And in this first episode today, well, the plan probably is really to focus first on creating the map, the new session, so you can see exactly what I'm using. You can be, if you want, using exactly the same settings. And then probably the timelines will be really focused on actually unlocking everything, going from your first island, which has nothing on it, to actually unlock all of the other region or unlock all of the tiers. As you can see here, I don't have any mods at all, but I did activate Wiimod. If you don't know about Wiimod, I will post in the description below the link to it. It is basically, let's say, a mod that gives you unlimited building materials. So, the wood, the bricks, concrete, etc. Those building materials, so that you're not stopped in your growth by just waiting for these building materials to be built. And because to be honest, like the DLC is coming in, let's say 2 weeks or so. I've had more than 1,000 hours in this game. I know how to play this game. I just don't want to wait for having enough bricks and wood. The goal here is just to get into our empire, completely new empire in shape, to be ready for this DLC. So that's why I've activated Wiimod on this game, and maybe later I'll also use some mods to simplify things, not to simplify, but to accelerate, to get to that point where we are ready for it. Things like getting more items at the trade, at the AI traders and things like this, for example. Okay, so let's dive in. As I said, don't hesitate to share any thoughts, feedback in the comments below on this new game. And also don't hesitate to subscribe so you never miss a new episode of this playthrough, in a sense. So no guidance. We're gonna, let's change. Who can we take? Let's be the queen this time. Okay, the queen is gonna be this one. I do like this color because it's easy to see on the map, I feel. We're gonna activate it all, and of course when the new DLC comes in, we'll also accept it. Another reason why it's possible to start this a new campaign is that even the new setting, which will be linked to, as far as I understand, the maintenance cost of skyscraper, you'll be able to change that in game after on old save like this. So there's no reason to wait. You can activate all of this. That's fine. Okay, custom. So here indeed, as always, not as always, sorry, I have very different series. I have a series where it's the difficulty is completely on that hand. The highest difficulty you can have. I even put more rules into myself to make it even harder. And you can see that series appear at the top. I have some series building series. I also have the series I mentioned earlier on the Scholars Record. But here, the way I'm thinking is once again sort of trying probably a record of population, trying to optimize a bit what we can do with the new DLC. And in that context, it doesn't really make sense to have a very hard game. I think we want something as easy as possible in that case. So we're gonna leave all of this here. I'm actually going to go for corners, which I really like, and the 975. So that is all good. Then characters, we're going to take them out so they don't annoy us at all. We can leave them all. We can leave them. They're not that hard to play with, and they do give you some interesting bonuses. Or maybe let's take off Jean and just keep Anne. That's fine. Okay, features. So eye, off, cool, all good. We're keeping all of this the same. One. No, it says normal, but that's basically the easy mode. We're going to take a trade fleet. We don't need war fleet. Cool, large. That is fine. We can even reveal the map. I mean, we're alone anyway, so that's not gonna change anything. No victory condition. And let's dive in. Here it is. Completely empty map, only one region available. We now need to unlock everything. We need to build up everything. That's gonna take some time. We're gonna move into the time lapse just now. Said this first time I will probably be focused on just getting through all of those tiers, moving from farmers to the other tiers. And you'll see me do that hopefully at another nice pace. Don't hesitate as always to ask questions during it. And yeah, let's dive in. Let's have some fun. Okay, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have unlocked all of the regions. As you can see here, we're now Cape, the New World, the Arctic, and Bessa. All of the regions have been unlocked, and we have also unlocked most of the tiers. We have from farmer to investors and the tourist. The only missing is the scholars, which you do get a bit later in the Bessa story. So that's why we haven't unlocked them yet. And similarly, if you look at the investor tab, we haven't unlocked everything yet, right? The last is a Steam carriage where you need 5,000 investors. So we're not fully there yet. And similarly, in many of the regions, right, we haven't unlocked everything. If we think about the Arctic, you start first with the explorers and then the technicians. We haven't touched the technicians yet. And this, to be honest, took even a bit longer than I expected. It's something like just under 2 hours. This was definitely not a speed run. I didn't try to optimize everything. One thing that you may have seen is I sort of let the parrot run a bit wild. I thought that without any AIs, if I also sort of made friends with the parrot right away or started with just creating a big fleet to to sort of take away the power of the pirates, that would get a bit boring. So just let them annoy me from time to time. But of course, at some point, we're gonna need to deal with them. And as you may have seen also, I took some shortcuts, right? For example, for the to improve for engineers to the investors, you need coffee. I just bought the coffee from Madame Kaina here instead of let me just buy a bit more instead of making it in the new world. Of course, now we're gonna need to change that, but for now, I thought that was just to get everything unlocked. So here it is. I hope you did like this episode. Don't hesitate to share any thoughts, feedback, suggestions that you may have. In particular, I'm keen to hear which region do you want me to focus on first. The goal now is really to start building each of the region, unlock everything that we haven't unlocked yet, finish all of the quests. So in particular, around the tourist season, there's quite a few quests to go through, and I do want to get that out of the way too. So yeah, indeed, if there's any of the sessions, be it Mbesa, the Arctic, or maybe the New World that you want me to do first, don't hesitate. As I said at the beginning, the goal here is to just prepare a session for the drop of the DLC. So a goal is also going to be to sort of have a reserve of everything. So build, for example, in the New World, I'm thinking I'm gonna build an island for each of the resources, like one island for coffee, one island for chocolate, one island for caoutchouc, etc. Even if I may not need it a lot right now, basically we don't know exactly what we're gonna need in the new DLC. So having island for each will enable us to be ready. Of course, that wouldn't be optimized, right? At some point, we're gonna need to decide what's the best, but that's sort of the plan. Okay, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.